Straight ahead on 12 News, life comes full circle.
That is my senior year varsity football jersey.
Meet the new Park Center principal back in the halls where he started. Then, is it the right time to buy a home? 12 News Money Savers offers some perspective. But first, help when a Plymouth soldier needed it most. 12 News starts right now. Hello, and thanks for joining us. Home maintenance projects can add up quickly, but imagine trying to take care of one while serving in the military overseas.
Neil Persley shows us how one Plymouth National Guard member got the help he needed.
I had gotten home and I got a notice on my door from the city that had gotten marked.
It was a massive elm tree that had Dutch elm disease and was tagged for removal in the backyard of Staff Sergeant Cesar Garcia's home. Garcia is currently on active duty overseas with the Minnesota National Guard. His girlfriend, Michaela, says the city gave Garcia about 20 days to remove the diseased tree.
Kind of went into panic mode a little bit.
Staff Sergeant Garcia told the city about his situation, and that's when Plymouth got its Beyond the Yellow Ribbon network involved.
There was no time delay. The city knew exactly who to contact, and the response to the service member was very, very quick. We contacted a number of tree companies that operate in Plymouth, and S&S Landscaping and Tree Service agreed to take down the tree with the help of it's a crane company, Southside Crane.
I'd like to repay the service that men and women that serve our country every day. It's just a little something that we can do to help out.
Now this one's going to be tough because they got to fish it out of there.
Removing a tree of this technical difficulty requires a lot of manpower and special equipment, and would normally cost between $5,000 and $6,000.
And they agreed to do it for $1,000.
Which just happened to be the amount that Plymouth Beyond the Yellow Ribbon had to spend. Taking down a tree this size is not an inexpensive proposition, and it has left quite a hole in Plymouth Beyond the Yellow Ribbon's budget.
We might be able to buy someone a hamburger right now, but no, we're kind of low right now.
So with an army of arborists, truckloads of technicians, and one big crane, the professionals went to work. Staff Sergeant Garcia wrote in an email, "I am completely blown away by the generosity of Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, S&S Tree and Landscaping Specialists, and Southside Crane Service. This is huge. Please extend my appreciation to them and everything they are doing." About 6 hours later, the problem was no more than a pile of wood chips. In Plymouth, Neil Persley, 12 News.
If you would like to donate to Plymouth Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, you can contact Gary Goldetsky at 612-716-2189 or learn more at Beyond the Yellow Ribbon on the website.
Thursday marks the 13th anniversary of 9/11. Students at Providence Academy are paying tribute to the victims. Wednesday, they were busy taking inventory of American flags, which will be placed around the entrance of the school. More than 2,000 flags will be on display, each one for a victim.
We hope that they remember everyone that was lost on that day and the effect it had on America.
When people see the flags, I really hope that that it brings hope to their lives, that we bounce back as Americans. We can stay together, and by being unified, we can do anything as a country.
The 9/11 Never Forget Project is an annual event at Providence. The public is invited to see the display.
A Brooklyn Park Community Church has been looking for a permanent home for years. Now it appears it will finally get one. Ebenezer Community Church is seeking approval of plans to build a church at this site at 93rd Avenue and West Broadway. It actually received approval of a similar plan in 2008, but that never came to fruition. Ebenezer Church serves a predominantly Liberian congregation. It currently meets at Park Center High School.
The Hennepin County Board of Commissioners will vote Thursday on a preliminary budget. The current proposal would increase the property tax levy in 2015 by more than $18 million, a nearly 3% increase. For the median valued home, it amounts to a $36 increase. The board could agree to lower that amount. The budget includes $9 million, the final payment for the new Brooklyn Park Library, which is scheduled to open in 2016. Starting this year, all high school graduates are required to take the ACT.
The Osseo School District is busy preparing students for the college entrance exam. Students are given practice tests to see what areas they need to improve on. Juniors and seniors are also encouraged to use free online study guides. This spring, all Osseo District students will be able to take the ACT for free, which should help open up doors of opportunity.
We need a college education to better ourselves in this world. It doesn't have to be a four-year education, but some kind of education past high school. And I think by taking the ACT, you get that confidence and say, I can do this.
The test can cost up to $54. Students on the free or reduced price lunch programs can get a voucher to take the exam for free twice a year. Well, the start of any school year means new faces in the halls.
At Park Center, that is true at the school's top spot. But this new principal comes to the school with a unique perspective.
Hey, let's go.
He may be the new principal at Park Center High School.
How's your day?
But John Gronke is familiar to many students.
Slow down, Gabe. How are you?
His most recent post was principal at Northview Junior High, a feeder school to Park Center. And Gronke is no stranger to the halls of the green and gold.
And I wanted to serve in another capacity at another level, and being able to come back to the school you graduated from is just, icing on the cake.
As a graduate of Park Center, class of 1986, Gronke's pirate pride still shines and is even showcased in his new office.
That is my senior year varsity football jersey from the 1985-86 school year, which Park Center was the first and the last team so far to make it to the state tournament in football.
That was 28 years ago, and much has changed in the halls of Park Center.
It's a lot to have to draw all those little things, but you can get some of them.
Today, the 1,400 students at Park Center come from more than 50 different countries around the world.
You know where you're going? Yeah. All right, be there on time. Let's go. Let's go.
For Gronke, the job ahead is clear. Goal number one is to make sure every student graduates. Right now, the school's graduation rate is around 80%.
And I'm committed and being relentless and doing whatever I can and helping our staff and helping our students make sure that every single kid graduates from school. And not just graduates, realize, what do I want to do after college?
It's an effort requiring work from everyone, but it's a challenge this principal believes his alma mater can accomplish.
And just stay tuned, because we're going to do our best to make sure all our kids graduate.
And coming up, some insights for those thinking about taking the home buying plunge.
Then later in sports, rivals Hopkins and Wayzata tangle in a top 10 volleyball matchup.
But first, the rain goes away, but it'll feel like late October on Thursday. The Twin Cities Metro is on the top 10 list of best places for millennials to buy a home.
The study says the area has a good combination of job growth and affordable housing. And in today's Money Savers report, Shannon Slatton explains what first-time home buyers should do to grab their first home.
We just kept looking and knew something would come along.
It took Chris Crow more than a year before he finally found the perfect house.
The space, it's got a big yard, that's what we wanted. We have a couple dogs. It was move-in ready. We wanted something that we could do some work on and make our own.
Chris kept close tabs on when sellers posted new homes, and in such a competitive market, he recommends other first-time buyers do the same.
Finding out exactly when new houses come out and get out and see them as soon as you can.
And buying a home this time of year could also save you money. Some sellers drop prices in the fall to try to sell those homes before winter. It's also your last chance to take advantage of this year's interest rates.
It's definitely a better time to buy now than it will be in the winter. Even waiting until next spring may cost you more, because I think that prices will be up and interest rates will probably be up too.
Jason Walgrave says sellers are now routinely entertaining more than one offer on properties.
Home sellers really only want to talk to qualified or pre-qualified buyers. So if a home comes on the market and there's other people that are interested, you got to be ready with a pre-qualification letter and ready to make an offer.
So to nab a new home, first-time buyers like Chris Crow say to get your papers in order, do your research, and then...
You just got to keep going after it. You're going to find a house that you really like, and you have to jump on it.
For Money Savers, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
This summer, houses for sale spent about 2 months on the market, and that is the fastest sale pace in at least 7 years. Well, coming up, a family-friendly event that goes to the dogs.
But first in sports, remembering a legendary local baseball and hockey coach. John Jacobson has more on the passing of Ken Staples when we come back.
Longtime Robbinsdale School District teacher and coach Ken Staples has died. The 87-year-old passed away Monday. Ken was a teacher by trade and taught social studies to thousands of students at Robbinsdale and Cooper high schools. But Ken was a coach too, coaching baseball at Robbinsdale, Cooper, and Wayzata high schools. Staples also coached hockey for many years in District 281. He was inducted into the State Hockey Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2006 and was a member of several Halls of Fame. Staples worked 14 years for the Minnesota Twins Clinics, teaching baseball to youth across the state. Ken graduated from St. Paul Humboldt High School and is survived by his wife Martha and 4 children. His funeral will be held Friday at St. Vincent de Paul Catholic Church with visitation Thursday at the Glen Haven Chapel in Crystal. All memorials will be given to local community sports programs supporting youth in baseball and hockey. The Lake Conference season started up Tuesday in volleyball. 2 of the better teams, Hopkins and Wayzata, were matched up. Samantha Seliger-Swenson sets to Ellie Mogg, who puts away a hit for a kill here. Hopkins scores the first 4 points of the night. Wayzata, though, comes back. Kate Berg with an attack off a block for a point, and that pulls the Trojans within 16-13. The Royals, though, finish strong. Jasmine Martin with an ace serve to close out a 25-20 first set win. Wayzata led for much of the second set. Berg's block helps the Trojans go up 22-18 as they try to even up the match. But the Royals score 7 of the next 8 points, including a block by Martin to win it 25-23 for Hopkins. Third set, and Sabrina Lure attacks in the middle for Wayzata. It's a close one again. Hopkins, though, will sweep the match. They take a 25-18, 25-23, and 25-20 to win this Lake Conference opener. In soccer, Maple Grove's boys team is on a good roll to start the season. The Crimson hosting district rival Park Center. Off the Park Center corner kick, the ball deflects back out to Jahar Dahir, who sends a crossing pass, but Crimson goalkeeper Ben Nelson is there to snare it. Maple Grove's Trevor Gift delivers a long high throw in. Carson Thomas heads it, and it goes off the shoulder of Reed Diamond and in. It's a 1-0 Maple Grove lead. Later in the first half, Garrett Maupin with a well-placed free kick. Ben Zaber gets his head on it to direct it in for the goal. Crimson lead 2-0 at the half. Park Center gets a good chance to get back in it. Alec Tao sends it to Sam Moses, but he doesn't get a lot on the shot, and this one stays 2-0 Crimson. Maple Grove will get an insurance goal off a throw-in coming up, and a bounce around before Danielle Cortez knocks it in. Maple Grove stays unbeaten with a 3-1 win. The girls' game is all Maple Grove. The Crimson broke open a 1-goal game with 3 second-half goals to hand Park Center its first loss. Brianna Johnson had 2 goals for Maple Grove. In Class A, the Breck boys had a good night in a matchup of top 10 teams. Mustangs were at home to take on Orono. On a corner kick from Garrett Opperman, Jack Dickinson with the header for the Mustangs, and they take the lead midway through the first half. And they'll strike again in a slightly different fashion. The corner kick knocked away, but right to Eric Horstman, and he buries the shot to make it 2-0 Mustangs at halftime. Second half, and Peter Kiesel gets control and surprises the keeper with a quick release rocket for a goal. The Mustangs lead it 3-0. Apparently you don't want to give Breck corner kicks. Dickinson will get another goal on a header here. The Mustangs win it 4-0, the final over Orono. Well, Breck is one of many local teams in the state rankings as we near mid-September. In the Class AA boys rankings this week, Minnetonka and Eastridge hold the top 2 spots with local squads Wayzata and Maple Grove at 3 and 4 respectively. Hopkins is ranked 7th, and they tied Wayzata Tuesday. Washburn is number 1 in Class A boys with Benilde 2nd. Breck is likely to move up from number 7 after that win over Orono. Totino Grace is ranked 9th. Prior Lake sits atop the AA girls poll ahead of Eastview and Eden Prairie. Maple Grove is rated 6th and Wayzata 7th, though the Trojans did lose a game 2-0 to number 9 Hopkins Tuesday. In Class A girls, Orono and Benilde St. Margaret's are 1-2. Park Center's girls are number 4 with Totino Grace at number 8. A lot of great soccer in the area this fall.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Now to Local Vote 2014 and our look at state legislative races in the area.
District 45B covers parts of Golden Valley, Crystal, Robbinsdale, and New Hope, and former Golden Valley City Council member Mike Freiberg is running for a second term in the State House. He's up against Republican Alma Wetzker, who says he's a moderate, problem-solving engineer.
Hi, I'm Alma Wetzker. I'm running for state representative for 45B, which is Crystal, Golden Valley, Robbinsdale, New Hope. It's a great area. My wife and I moved into that area about 19 years ago, and we've loved it. The community is fabulous. The people there are great, and the state has been wonderful to us. It's an amazing place to live. I'm running basically as a hardcore, well, moderate. What does that mean? I'm looking for solutions. Solutions to problems. I'm an engineer. I solve problems. That's what I'm trying to do instead of pushing them off. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Freiberg, and I'm running for re-election as your state representative. It has been a privilege to serve you these past 2 years. With my support, we were able to balance the state budget without gimmicks, guarantee all-day kindergarten, pay back our schools, freeze tuition at Minnesota's public colleges and universities, invest in early childhood education, and adopt the Women's Economic Security Act. Contrast this with the previous legislature, which shut down state government, took money from our schools, and put 2 divisive constitutional amendments on the ballot, and the choice is clear. If re-elected, I will focus on a comprehensive transportation package that includes mass transit, invest further in early childhood education, and address the cost of college. Please support Mike Freiberg on November 4th.
And we'll be right back. Finally, a party for the pooches.
Brooklyn Park is hosting what it calls the Bark Park Expo. It takes place from noon to 3 on Saturday at Brookdale Dog Park. At the event, your pet can enter a dog trick contest and win a prize playing musical sit. There's food, too, for the owners, with proceeds benefiting the Brooklyn Park Athletic Association. Local veterinarians and pet-related businesses will also be on hand, and if you're curious, admission is free.
Musical sit.
That's right.
I like it.
You have to go and find out what that is.
That's right.
Thanks so much for joining us. That does it for us.
We'll see you again tomorrow beginning at 4. Community Corners coming up next.